Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. Imagine holding a 1983 United States Washington quarter in your hand. At first glance, it may appear to be nothing more than an ordinary 25-cent coin, a piece of pocket change that millions of Americans used every day during the early 1980s. Yet beneath its familiar appearance lies a fascinating story of history, rarity, collector demand, surprising errors, and examples that have sold for far more than their face value. The 1983 quarter occupies a unique place in American numismatics because it comes from a period when coin collecting habits in the United States were changing dramatically, creating circumstances that would later make high-grade examples surprisingly difficult to obtain. To understand why the 1983 quarter has attracted attention from collectors, it is important to travel back through the history of the Washington Quarter series itself. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States. What began as a commemorative issue soon became a permanent circulating coin. The design proved popular among Americans, and the quarter remained largely unchanged for decades. By the time the year 1983 arrived, the Washington Quarter had already been circulating for more than half a century and had become one of the most recognizable coins in American history. The obverse, or front side, of the 1983 quarter features the portrait of George Washington. This iconic bust was originally designed by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington faces left, presenting a dignified and timeless appearance. Above his head appears the word, Liberty, while the phrase, In God We Trust, is positioned to the left. The date, 1983, appears below the portrait. Although millions of people handle these coins every year, few paid attention to the intricate details of the design, including the texture of Washington's hair, the sharpness of the jawline, and the precise lettering surrounding the portrait. The reverse side of the coin displays an eagle with outstretched wings. The eagle stands proudly on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military strength and preparedness. Beneath the arrows are two olive branches representing peace. Around the edge appears the inscription, United States of America, while E pluribus unum is placed above the eagle. At the bottom is the denomination, $quarter. This reverse design remained a familiar sight to generations of Americans until the introduction of the state quarters program many years later. The 1983 quarter has a diameter of approximately 24.3 millimeters and a weight of 5.67 grams. This weight is an important specification because serious collectors and dealers often verify a coin's authenticity through precise measurements. The coin is composed of a copper nickel-clad structure consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition was adopted by the United States Mint in the mid-1960s, when rising silver prices made silver coinage economically impractical. As a result, the 1983 quarter contains no silver despite occasional misconceptions among new collectors. When examining the edge of the coin, one can observe the characteristic reeded design consisting of numerous small grooves. The edge also reveals the copper core sandwiched between the outer nickel-clad layers. This distinctive appearance is one of the easiest ways to identify a standard-clad Washington quarter from the silver quarters produced before 1965. The coin symbol associated with the $quarter denomination is simply the cent-based monetary system of the United States, where 25 cents equals $1/4. Although there is no unique symbol exclusively assigned to quarters, the denomination represents 1/4 of the US dollar, making it a fundamental part of everyday American commerce. One of the most important details collectors look for on a 1983 quarter is the mint mark. During the year, quarters were produced at multiple United States mint facilities. Coins struck in Philadelphia generally carried no mint mark on circulating quarters of that era. Coins struck in Denver display a small D mint mark. Proof coins produced in San Francisco bear an S mint mark and were specially manufactured for collectors using polished dies and planchets to achieve a mirror-like appearance. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters in 1983. The Denver Mint also struck hundreds of millions. At first glance, such enormous production numbers would suggest that the coin should be extremely common and essentially worthless beyond face value. However, numismatics often present surprising exceptions, and the 1983 quarter is one of those fascinating cases. A major factor contributing to the coin's significance is the absence of official mint sets during both 1982 and 1983. Due to budget considerations and declining collector demand at the time, the United States Mint did not issue its traditional uncirculated mint sets for those years. This decision had unintended consequences. Normally, collectors could obtain pristine examples directly from mint sets and preserve them in high grades. Since no official mint sets were available, relatively few uncirculated examples were saved. As years passed, most 1983 quarters entered circulation and accumulated wear. They passed through cash registers, vending machines, banks, and countless hands across America. Scratches, nicks, and abrasions gradually reduced their quality. Consequently, truly high-grade specimens became scarcer than their massive mintage figures would suggest. This unusual situation transformed the 1983 quarter into a modern rarity in top condition. While worn examples remain common and typically worth only face value, sharply preserved uncirculated coins can command substantial premiums. Collectors seeking the finest examples compete intensely for coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services. The grading process plays a crucial role in determining value. Numismatists use a scale ranging from poor 1 to mint state 70. A circulated 1983 quarter showing significant where may be worth only 25 cents. An uncirculated example graded mint state 63 may bring a modest premium. As grades climb higher, values increase dramatically. Coins graded mint state 65, mint state 66, and especially mint state 67 or above become increasingly desirable. The reason high-grade 1983 quarters attract attention is not because they are old, silver, or rare in absolute numbers. Rather, they are condition rarities. Collectors assembling registry sets often seek the finest known examples, creating strong demand whenever exceptional specimens appear on the market. By the late 20th century, professional grading companies began certifying coins in tamper-resistant holders, giving buyers greater confidence in authenticity and grade. As population reports revealed how few top-grade 1983 quarters existed, collector interest intensified. Suddenly, a coin once ignored in pocket change became an object of serious study and competition. Many people searching through old jars of coins hope to discover a valuable 1983 quarter. Although most examples are ordinary, certain characteristics can significantly increase value. Sharp details, brilliant luster, minimal contact marks, and strong eye appeal are all desirable features. Coins that appear fresh and untouched despite decades of age often attract the most attention from collectors and dealers alike. The story becomes even more exciting when error coins enter the picture. Minting errors have long fascinated collectors because they represent unusual moments when the production process deviated from normal standards. Some 1983 quarters exhibit striking errors that make them highly collectible and potentially worth far more than standard examples. As collectors began studying the 1983 quarter more closely, attention increasingly turned toward mint errors and varieties. These unusual coins provide a glimpse into the manufacturing process at the United States Mint and often command significant premiums because of their rarity. Among the most sought-after examples are off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process. Depending on the percentage of the design missing and whether the date remains visible, these coins can be worth many times their face value. Another notable error involves double strikes. In these cases, the coin receives more than one impression from the dies, creating overlapping images and distorted designs. Such errors are instantly recognizable and highly desirable among error coin specialists. The more dramatic the error, the greater the collector demand tends to be. Collectors also search for die cracks and die breaks. As minting dies age, stress can cause them to crack. These cracks may appear on the finished coin as raised lines running across portions of the design. In extreme cases, large pieces of the die break away, creating dramatic raised features known as cut errors. While not every die crack commands a premium, significant examples can attract considerable interest. Clipped planchet errors are another fascinating category. These occur when the metal blanks used to create coins are improperly cut before striking. The resulting coin is missing a curved portion of its edge. Authentic clipped planchets display characteristic metal flow patterns that experts use to verify their legitimacy. Such errors are far scarcer than ordinary quarters and can sell for substantial amounts depending on their size and appearance. Broad strike errors occur when the retaining collar fails to hold the coin properly during striking. The resulting quarter appears larger and thinner than normal, with distorted edges. These unusual pieces stand out immediately when compared to standard coins and remain popular among collectors of mint errors. One of the most exciting possibilities involves coins struck on the wrong planchet. Occasionally, a quarter design may be struck onto a blank intended for another denomination. These spectacular mistakes are among the rarest and most valuable mint errors. When authenticated by professional grading services, they can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the circumstances. The 1983 D quarter from the Denver Mint deserves special attention among collectors. While millions were produced, locating examples with exceptional luster, strong strike quality, and minimal contact marks can be surprisingly difficult. Many Denver minted quarters entered heavy circulation immediately after production, making pristine survivors less common than the original mintage numbers might suggest. Similarly, the 1983 Philadelphia issue has become famous among registry set collectors. In lower grades, it remains common. However, examples achieving the highest certified grades are surprisingly scarce. As a result, elite collectors often compete aggressively whenever top population specimens become available. Auction records provide an excellent illustration of how dramatically condition affects value. A heavily circulated 1983 quarter may still be worth only 25 cents. Yet examples certified in elite mint state grades have sold for hundreds and, in certain exceptional cases, several $1,000s. The difference between an average coin and a superb gem can be astonishing. Professional grading services maintain population reports showing how many examples have been certified at each grade level. These reports reveal that the number of surviving coins in the highest grades is remarkably small compared to the enormous original mintages. This scarcity helps explain why advanced collectors are willing to pay premium prices for the finest known examples. Market trends over the years have generally favored condition rarities. As more collectors participate in registry competitions, demand for top-grade modern coins has increased. The 1983 quarter benefits directly from this trend because of the unusual circumstances surrounding the lack of mint sets during its year of issue. Many experts consider it one of the key modern Washington quarters for serious collectors. When evaluating a 1983 quarter, collectors pay close attention to several factors. Strike quality is important because weakly struck coins may lack sharp detail in Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers. Surface preservation is equally critical. Even small contact marks can significantly affect a coin's grade. Luster, the original mint shine created during striking, also plays a major role in determining desirability and value. Proof versions from San Francisco offer a different collecting experience. These coins were manufactured specifically for collectors and feature mirror-like fields contrasted with frosted design elements. While proof quarters are generally more available in high grades than circulating issues, exceptional examples still attract attention from specialists. The historical context of the early 1980s adds another layer of interest. The United States was experiencing economic changes, inflation concerns, and evolving collecting habits. Few people imagined that ordinary circulating quarters from that era would one day become notable collectibles. Yet the passage of time often transforms everyday objects into historical artifacts, and the 1983 quarter is a perfect example. Many treasure hunters continue searching rolls of quarters obtained from banks in hopes of finding an overlooked gem. Although the odds of discovering a top-grade example in circulation are low, valuable coins do occasionally surface in old collections, inherited accumulations, and forgotten coin jars. Stories of collectors finding surprisingly valuable quarters among ordinary change continue to fuel interest in the hobby. For beginners entering the world of coin collecting, the 1983 quarter serves as an excellent lesson that rarity is not always determined by age alone. A coin can be relatively modern and still become valuable if high-quality examples are difficult to locate. This concept challenges the common assumption that only very old coins are worth collecting. Today, most circulated 1983 quarters remain worth face value. Nice uncirculated examples can sell for several dollars, while premium certified specimens may reach hundreds. The finest known examples have achieved prices stretching into the thousands of dollars at auction, proving that condition can transform an ordinary quarter into a remarkable collectible. And that is what makes the 1983 Washington quarter such a fascinating coin. It is a reminder that hidden treasures are not always ancient rarities locked away in museums. Sometimes they are coins that once passed unnoticed through everyday transactions, carrying groceries, bus fares, and morning coffee purchases across America. Decades later, those same quarters have become prized collectibles, studied by experts, pursued by registry competitors, and celebrated by numismatists around the world. Whether worth 25 cents or several $1,000s, each 1983 quarter tells a story of American history, minting technology, collector passion, and the enduring excitement of discovering value where few people ever thought to look. The next time you find a quarter dated 1983, take a closer look, because what appears to be ordinary pocket change might just be a small piece of numismatic history waiting to reveal its true worth.